Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Tazapanya Banyamyan of the Sons of Yasha Allah camp out here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Giving all honor, praises, and infinite glory unto Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Hakwadash. Giving double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who do rule well, who I learned this 100% true from. All right. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. And other salutations unto you speckled bird brothers, pursuant to the prophecy of Jeremiah, that are scattered among the heathen that do look like the heathen. And also a shalom to you Akwath, you sisters out there listening and learning in silence, Salakia, as the scriptures say so. All right. Back at it again with another quick hit through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, as you see the topic, Lord willing is edifying to the elect. As you see the topic, it says that you cannot hide, O ye rich men. All right, so I got an article here on the Guardian that I'm gonna show and then I'm gonna read just a little bit of it, and then we're gonna get into some scriptures. Okay, let's see the headline right here. Okay, this came out about 3 days ago. Salakia. This came out about 3 days ago, and it says the super rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. The super rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. And this is on The Guardian, as you can see, came out 3 days ago. Okay, now let's filter this through the scriptures, man. So first, what do the super rich know that Jake don't know? When I say Jake, I'm talking about, Israelites that don't know that they're Israelites, or if they do, they're not the Israel of the Most High, the Israel of God. They're not keeping the law, statute, commandments to the best of their ability. They leaning upon their own understanding. All right. What do the super rich know? All right. They know that the end of the world is on its way. And honestly, they're orchestrating the so-called apocalyptic event because they believe in the new age to come. They're going to rule and have slaves just like now, but more control and more complete power over the serfs, over the lower class, lower caste. Okay, that's what they think. And we're going to get into the scriptures to see if that's going to come to pass. Now it says tech billionaires are buying up luxurious bunkers and hiring military security to survive a societal collapse they helped create. You see? So, Salakia. So even the scriptures, I mean, the Edomites, because is most likely, I mean, anybody that didn't join hand in hand with them, but whether it be a two-third Jake, all right, whether it be a heathen nation or Edomite that wrote this, because I can't, Douglas Rushkoff, that sounds like an Edomite to me, right? But who knows? All right, they even know that these tech billionaires helped created this. Now you got to remember, there are trillionaires in this world, multi-trillionaires, which are the international banking families. So billionaires is really just nothing but puppets, for real, for the top elite, the Illuminati, so to speak, because Illuminati just means it's just Latin for the illuminated ones, those that think that they have the knowledge, all right, to govern the world, all right, that they was given some type of divine throne, so to speak, to rule the world, which they was on this side, and is going to be destroyed by Yahweh Basham Yahushai. All right, now it says, but like everything they do, it has unintended consequences. Now I can read, but it seems like kind of like an opinion piece that he kind of went off of from actually seeing all of these bunkers that was being built. But we're gonna get into the scriptures because this been happening on, but it's happening to such a exponential rate. Okay, that you having journalists talk about it. Like I said earlier, the scriptures say, what is it in the book of Psalms, that their tongue shall fall upon themselves. So even Edomites, whether they be lower class Edomites, is coming at their own nation, saying that you know, there's a societal collapse that's going to happen. There's going to be apocalyptic events that's going to perspire, you know, here in the whole world, you know, but specifically Babylon the Great. Right. So let's get to the book of, where am I start first? Because I don't have nothing lined up. I did on my last video, but I don't have nothing lined up today. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So I'll look it up on in the Blue Letter Bible. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's get it. Throw down. Yeah, I knew it was in Amos, but for some reason I couldn't find it. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 2. Okay, and it reads, though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Right? So hell, when you go into it, is Shawal. You see what I'm saying? Or Sheol in the Hebrew. All right. The true pronunciation would be Shawal. All right. And it's talking about the grave. All right. Which is inside the earth. All right. So what does it mean though they dig into hell? Okay. Underground bunkers. All right. And you also have Dumbo's deep underground military base operations. Okay. So not only do you have tech billionaires that's creating these underground bunkers in hell or in the grave or underground, okay, you got top politicians, top congressmen, bankers. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that has the type of wealth on this side that are well off to think that they can outsmart Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? So Yahweh through the Spirit is speaking to the Amos, and this is talking to the Israelites, but we can relate it, okay, to these Edomites and to really all these other nations, because Yahweh in the book of Deuteronomy says that, and I shall take all these curses that I put upon thee and put upon your enemies, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so it continues to read Amos chapter 9, verse 2, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. You see? All right. So they can put themselves in the bunkers. All right. Because talking about America, right? Anybody who has a bunker in America is going to be destroyed because there's going to be 200 million thermonuclear warheads equipped on hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles that is going to fully destroy this place and turn it into a mass desert. Nobody will survive in America. Now, if they get a bunker in New Zealand or somewhere like that, you see what I'm saying? That they'll live through the so-called World War III, the climax of World War III. However, we're going to read of what's going to happen to them after they try to, whether they stay in there, right, or they try to go up, you know, to the surface, so to speak. All right. Now it reads, though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Now, you got a lot of other people too that have these so-called planes that can fly right in the inner atmosphere and can kind of float in the 0G, all right, where they're away from any explosion of mushroom clouds, and they can go over the rotation of the earth and wait, all right, until the destruction passes. You see? I don't know if any of y'all seen the TV series The 100, all right? And it's basically that same thing. They put it in the beginning of a post-apocalyptic, you know, the people coming down, all right, which is kind of reminiscent to, you know, because they like to play on the scriptures, man. The devil, you know, he tricky and all that, you know what I mean? But because we're going to be beamed up to the chariots, Lord willing, if we're that number, the hope for elect, and we're going to be coming down as gods with new bodies to help establish Yahweh's kingdom, right? But in that movie 100, there was, you know, I think it was nuclear warfare. I call it the prom fire, whatever, because it was like a weird little slang language that they had. And they came down after a while, and there was certain people that were still living, and they had the technology because they was in that plane for so long waiting. you know, to come back down onto Earth but there was certain spots that was nuclear radiation and all of that because it was just that much damage that the bombs did or whatever. But the point I'm making is that Esau Edom has this type of technology to stay away from the World War III and the missiles flying in the air just the way he has underground. Okay. Um, and then verse 3, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, Carmel was a mountain, I will search and take them out thence. You got your, like I said, these deep underground military base operations, you got them in mountains. Okay, you got what Cheyenne Mountain, all right, Mount Weather, I think is in Virginia. Okay, same thing. So there's mountains that people don't even know can fit 1 million people, like a city inside of a mountain, man. All right, and you don't even know. There's a thing called continuity of government. All right, America has already established who's going to be in power in the deep state when this thing goes down. You feel me? And because they making deals with the international banking families. If we push your agenda, I want this type of status in your world to come, basically, like the middle level Edomites. You see? Um, I will search and take them out thence, and though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea. So what do you got? You got submarines as well. All right, you got certain technology of submarines that can be underwater, all right, and not be detected by radar for months or for years on end. All right, fully stocked with water and food, bathrooms, dining halls, party rooms, bedrooms with king size beds, all of that, man. Real talk. You know what I mean? Continuing on, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. All right, that serpent will be going into Leviathan. All right, which the Most High is going to unleash him. All right, to have a great feast. At the end of the world, especially to these rich men. But to prove my point, see how he said, "My hand is going to take them if they go down into hell." That's how you know hell is not um a place where your spirit burning forever. It's the grave, man. All right, according to the scriptures, start to look up words in the Hebrew and the Greek. Okay, Sheol in the Hebrew, all right, Hades in the Greek, and they both mean the grave. And it's also twofold because it also means a state of condition. All right, a mindset. All right. So now let's go to the book of Psalms, because if they go into hell, he's going to get his hand to get them. All right. If they go up into the heavens, he's going to bring them down. If they go into the sea, he's going to get a serpent. So no matter what these so-called rich men, like we just read, let's read it, since I got a couple of more people in the chat. Or should I say not the chat, but this live stream. Let's go to the article again, and then we're going to go into the book of Psalms. Okay. So as you see here on the Guardian, the super rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. The super rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. And this is on the Guardian. All right. So, like I said, what do the super rich preppers know that we don't know? Right? What do they know that we don't know? Right? So I'll put that in there later. All right. So now let's prove how the Most High, all right, is going to take these super rich people that is going to survive the World War III, the apocalypse, so to speak, Armageddon, Harmageddon. All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, no, 149, Salakia. And we're going to start at verse 6. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth. All right, who's this talking about? It's talking about the elect, man. All right, which the high praises would be the new song. All right, the teaching the correct doctrine and living a lifestyle of rehearsing the righteous acts and having faith, mainly, should I say, on Yahweh Shai, which is, loving the Most High with all your mind, body, heart, and soul, and treating your brethren, those that are in the truth. You see what I'm saying? Like yourself, with that love, brotherhood, charity, right? And a two-edged sword in their hand. All right. So that's twofold, because we literally gonna have a two-edged sword in our hand. All right. And a two-edged sword right now on this side is the scriptures, Hebrews 4, chapter 4, verse 12. Verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. See, so the Most High is going to use us for vengeance. That's Ezekiel chapter 25. All right. By the hand of my people Israel shall I show them my vengeance, my wrath upon Edom. All right. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. Verse 8. This is the point. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Who the saints? The Israelites. Praise ye Yahweh. So we praising Yahweh that all of these nobles and rulers of today, which we would know as what? Prime ministers, House of Representatives, congressmen, presidents, stockbrokers, bankers, you see what I'm saying? Hedge fund, whatever all of these rich men, they're going to be, because they're not dumb. If they was able to be this rich in this society, all right, they was able to do things with greed. The love of money is the root of all evil, right? And they got themselves to a certain society, a certain position in society, all right, and they know what's to come. Because if they can read the stock markets and get rich, they also know what's going to happen to society. They're trying to save themselves, like we just read in the article, to by prepping to get bunkers to prepare them for the collapse to live. But what's going to happen because of all their unrighteous dealings, the kingdom is going to be translated, and the Most High is going to use His people by His hand. Remember, who sits at the right hand of Yahweh? Yahweh Shai. Aren't we the body of Yahweh Shai? Right? He's going to use us, all right, to bind with literally with chains, man. In Deuteronomy, the curses that happen upon us, he's going to put upon our enemies. Esau Edom is the top enemy, pursuant to Psalms 83, right? He put a yoke of iron upon our necks, all right, in slavery, man. He did it not only to the Southern Kingdom, so-called Negro, Jamaican, and Haitian, but he also did it to the so-called Native American and soon to be known as Latinos as well, man. You can look these things up, all right. And no other nation has, been in that type of slavery, man. All right, to execute upon them the judgment written. So it's already written that these people are going to live, all right, because the Most High destined them to be like that. Doesn't it say in Proverbs that the king's heart, right, is in the hand of the Lord, and He turn it whithersoever He wish? Roughly paraphrasing. So He's putting the spirit on these tech billionaires, these rich men, to basically to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom. All right. Salakia. To save themselves from the destruction coming. So I'll leave it off at one more precept, and then we'll end it off right there because we're coming up to the 20 minutes. I'm kind of in the, like the beloved Apostle Rakar, keep it under 20, cut them quick. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1. Is it chapter 1, Salakia? No, I don't think it's chapter 1. Yeah, chapter 6, Salakia. Chapter 6, I'm going to start at verse 12, and it reads, And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. All right. Wacky tacky Christians love to say, yeah, there's going to be a great earthquake. What's going to cause this great earthquake? The ICBMs peltering America, man. All right, like it says, the army was 200,000, which equals unto 200 million, man. You have to imagine America being a lake of fire and how it's going to turn to a lake of fire, and how that nuclear fission, all right, is going to cause such energy to be released, man. You see, continuing on, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, right? All right, so you're not going to see the sun because of the mushroom clouds. It's going to be a nuclear rain, so to speak, and the moon became blood, man, because there's going to be a lot of people dying. All right, a lot of people dying. All right, and the moon also goes into like understanding. You see what I'm saying? So the understanding of Esau is going to be dead. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not going to know what to do. They're going to think that they know what to do. You see what I'm saying? But there is no counsel against the Lord, as it says in the book of Psalms, right? Verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell into earth. So those are the missiles, man. John the Revelator is trying to symbolically portray to the people who read the churches that it's going to look, because when the missiles come down, it's going to look like like shooting stars just coming straight down into earth, man. Continuing on, because I kind of went past a little bit. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when he is shaken of a mighty wind. Verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll, right? That's the mushroom cloud, all right, when it is rolled together. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places because the destruction is going to be so heavy. Verse 15, and the kings of the earth and the great men, see, the kings of the earth, remember the kings of the earth going to be binded with chains, pursuant to Psalms 149, right? And the great men and the rich men, you see, great meaning status, right? And the rich men and the chief captains, right? So all the 5-star general commanders and in the military, and the mighty men, right? The military services that they read that these tech billionaires is trying to hire, to guard their bunkers. And every bondman, remember, they're gonna have slaves in them bunkers, man. sex, Salakia, sex slaves, people to cook their food, all of that. And every free man, all right, hid themselves in the dens. The free men going, you got your regular white supremacist militia guy, doomsday prepper guy, prepper thing is big on YouTube, right? Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. What is those? Those bunkers, man. All right. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? All right, because a lot of them is going to understand that all of this destruction is for the bringing in the revelation of Yahweh Shah, dark skinned man with woolly hair, with the top angel, war angel, should I say, Michael, Mike Ya'ala, all right, and the rest of the angels, and what they call so-called UFOs, man. All right, because it's going to bug people out. You see what I'm saying? They ain't going to be able to understand the supernatural technology that Yahweh Shah has. All right, and then eventually all of the nations are going to come to try to face him. But in Second Esdras, it talks about they were scared. So the Most High is going to put a spirit on them, all right, to fight them, even though they scared shitless, man. All right, all of these bombs going off, America being destroyed, and out of nowhere too, you see them Yahweh Shah's beaming up, or the angels, you see them saying beaming up, going into the farthest ship that Yahweh Shah's coming on, of these great mountain UFO, right? All the ones that obeyed him, so they don't get destroyed by the wrath of the ICBMs in America and other various places upon the earth. People gonna be hiding themselves in the bunkers. But them same people in them bunkers, in the dens and in the clefts of the rock, so to speak, the gods, right? The elect of Israel, they're gonna be coming back down, and the Most High through Yahweh Shah is gonna give the decree. All right, the scriptures say that you know um what does it say? Fishers of men and hunters of men, right? I will turn fishers into hunters, roughly paraphrasing. So we fishing now. We trying to get people, bid into the marriage. Come on, like, you see what I'm saying? But then later on, all right, the Most High gonna say, all right, that's fishing is done. Now you gotta go hunt. You see what I'm saying? Lord willing, we have that number to go do the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, man. All right, because look at all of the wickedness that they done to our people, man. And it's going to be a righteous thing that he's going to allow, certain sect of his people to get spiritual power to let these people know the wrath, man. All right, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, man. People going to know, and they are my chosen, like it says in Second Esdras 16. Then in that time shall they know who are my chosen, man, because they're going to get spiritual power. Miraculous thing is going to happen. So I'm going to leave it at that. I went over my time about 5 minutes. Lord willing, was edifying to the elect, but it's over for you, rich men, because they all watching us too. They got the algorithms, they got little cronies, watching us to see what the Israelites, what they talking about, what they doing. They know what's going to happen. You see, and this is why the devil know they have a short time. They know they going into slavery, man. They know all the unrighteous dealings, all of the riches gotten by deceit, all right, by fraud, the credit system, usury. They know all of these things, all right. Well, you going into slavery, all you top elite of you so-called white people with your true nationality is Edomites, okay. And all the Edomites, don't matter who you are, if you're in America, you're going to be destroyed by the missiles, man. All right. So with that, I'm going to say Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, 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 Ababa Bor, Shalom. Till next time. Peace. Peace to the gods.